Pro's turn to pick.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Techlabs Cup in Moscow. It is the LAN finals between VirtusPro and Team Empire, best of 3 series. Right now, we're entering game number 2 here on the Beyond the Summit stream. My name is Malt. Thank you so much for joining us here. It is a bit late for some of you on the, of course, North American continent. Obviously, it's right around about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for some of you, but you know that doesn't matter when you have excellent Dota to watch. Whether it is the Techlabs Cup with, of course, the CIS teams duking it out, or whether it's over on BTS2 where there's some Chinese Dota action happening there. So a lot of great Dota to be had. Already entering our second game, and Empire with a significant performance in that first game. Just absolutely fantastic. On the back of Silent, his Luna, well played from Mag as usual. Resolution on the Invoker, really just pretty much giving it to VirtusPro as hard as they can give it. Unfortunately, VirtusPro, they're down 1-0 in the series. It is a best of 3 series, however, so they can jump right back into it with a win here. And they have the Naga Siren, which both Illidan and G are kind of renowned for in terms of their play there. They can get so many last hits, get that early radiance right about 14, 15, 16 minutes thereabout. They'll pick up the Disruptor as well, and VirtusPro are off to a good start in this draft. The problem was in that last game, they couldn't get, the CK pick was questionable at best, and it really just did not work out for Illidan. You wanted to see them fight a bit more often early on, but by the time they did, they pretty much were kind of, at that point, a little too far behind. You think about what CK had, and he really didn't have much. He had Treads, he had a Drum, and he had an Ogre Club. He couldn't even get to that BKB. G had his BKB, and I thought for sure he was going for a Maelstrom. He did pick that up, but he actually went for the BKB afterwards, and just not a lot of damage, especially because he went for the Treads. He wasn't able to pump out the damage that you usually see from a Mirana later on into the game. So a really interesting draft from VirtusPro, and you can chalk it up to experimentation here on the LAN, but they've got to get back into it with this one. Otherwise, they're going to be relegated to the lower bracket, facing up against the loser of rox.kis and next.kz. And, well, VirtusPro, they had a long trip to get here, a lot of qualification games to go. They fought up against next.kz. They were not able to pull up the victory there, which would have sent them to the finals. They had to go down to the losers bracket. They had to fight up against teams like Insane and Aware. They won those series, and of course they eventually punched their ticket to get here. But as it stands right now, this is going to be, I think, a defining series for VirtusPro as a team. Can they take down the Juggernaut Team Empire? Can they band together, or are they going to crack under the pressure here? And obviously they are the underdogs, and I'm not saying that, you know, losing this game is going to make them kind of just disapparate and disassemble as a team, but this could be a huge victory for them if they could pick up the win. It's obviously very difficult, especially with how Team Empire has been playing. Now they have the Bat Rider, it's going to be even more so. They have the Visage on top of that, and we saw how good Always Wanna Fly can play that hero in the first game. So we are going to jump into the second ban phase, the last of the second ban phase here in just a moment. Not a whole lot of reserve time used for Team Empire. They've got a lot of time to think here, see what they want to ban out. The Disruptor already picked up, so they know that they need another support, maybe that safe lane hero, but they do, like I said, like to send Naga Siren safe with Illidan Stormrage playing him, so they have that option. Kind of maybe go for an offlane here, and in fact they do that. They ban out the Centaur Warrunner, making sure Arsart can't pick that up. Arsart very comfortable on that hero, but more so on the Nyx Assassin, which was bound out before it, so not really a surprise to see the Nyx Assassin gone from the pool. And now, as it stands, Team Empire, they've got a couple of options with their own picks. They can go for a carry, they can go for their mid, they could try to fight with somebody that's pretty aggressive against the Naga Siren. Maybe even a Shadow Feed could be okay, just because the Riptide's not going to do all that much. You're going to have to run up and hit him. He's got that nice range going through. Necromastery stacks will get built. He's not going to have the best time early on, but later on, once he gets his Necromastery stacks, he can harass the crap out of that Naga Siren. Maybe they go for something more orthodox from their mid hero, maybe something like a Storm Spirit, something to kind of lock down the Naga. So there's a couple of options. We've even seen a Faces Void counter up a Naga, at least to a certain extent. But you have to be aggressive early on, and the problem with that is just having really good positioning and team fighting. So Empire have a lot of options. In terms of countering this Naga, it's going to be difficult, because Song of the Siren is going to be, I think, the most problematic in terms of trying to bring her down, as it always is. Batrider with the lasso and a bit of, I guess, burst damage could come through, and it could be enough against that Naga Siren, but it depends on what they combo up with. What's going to go with that Bat Rider to deal all of that damage? Are they going to pick up a Morphling, somebody that does just as well in terms of farming, but maybe not so much in the late game, cannot split push as well? They go for the Luna again, and why not? Why not fix what's broke, or what isn't broke, I suppose? And Luna with the right-click damage is going to absolutely hit like a truck. We saw in the last game, Silent did a nice job getting some early farm, going to that Helm of the Dominator, even getting ganked once or twice and still being just fine. But VirtusPro, they're going to go for this, I guess, just rat style of Dota here, I guess would be the easiest way of saying it. And it really is. I mean, you think about it, Nature's Prophet's going to be all over the map, Naga Siren's going to be all over the map, Disruptor's going to be sending some heroes back home. So VirtusPro are never going to want to take a fight that's really 5-on-5 unless they feel comfortable enough. And that's an issue because Empire is going to probably thrive around that type of gameplay. They have a carry that can fight early on in the game and late as well. They have Visage, who's all about early game fighting. They have Batrider, who's all about early game pickoffs once he gets 6, and his Blink Dagger. So now they know they have issues here. And they have to try to find a way to deal with the Nature's Prophet and to deal with the Naga Siren. And something we've seen before is Keeper of the Light. They certainly could go that route, but it would be difficult at best. They're going to go for the Shadow Fiend. All 3 cores now picked for Team Empire. And it was, I guess I called it there with the Shadow Fiend going mid up against that Naga Siren. We'll be able to carry a bit later on. Does have a lot of right-click potential. Night Stalker coming through from VirtusPro, however, and that should be, I don't know, I've seen it safe lane and I've seen it mid as well for VirtusPro, and I just don't know who's going to play that hero. G is a big fan of it, obviously. Not sure if Illidan can play it to the same kind of, I guess, prowess, but might see an early Aghanim Scepter coming out from him, trying to get as much vision as possible, trying to take down as many heroes as possible. Remember, it's not all about that first night anymore. It's more so about the first and second night with the changes they've made to that. So
reserve time.
I do like this, though. They have that silence, which is going to be really nice to have. Darkness Void it's really all about the early game pressure. Night Stalker's going to be looking for pickoffs and ganks. Nature's Prophet's going to be TPing there, and Disruptor should be involved as well. But it's weird because it kind of signifies a little bit, you know, more of a broader approach to the game, whereas you kind of see a lot of teams going for maybe like a Shadow Shaman here and just trying to push as much towers as possible. But they go for the Night Stalker, and that means that they have more potential in terms of team fighting or even ganking.
Turn to ban.
With Empire, it's kind of a similar lineup to what they had last game, except you replace kind of the teamfight-oriented hero they had mid in the Invoker and Resolution playing that to the Shadow Fiend, which is sort of still teamfight-oriented, but more so in terms of his right-click damage and kind of carrying on to later in the game. He does have the Requiem of Souls, which is something you do have to keep in mind. His raises are still pretty devastating, and his Necromancer can still do work, but you know, he's more so all about kind of just doing the right-click damage later on down the line. And just kind of having an early, you know, strong early game, essentially, that'll lead into a decent mid to late game, get an early BKB, maybe a Blink Dagger, maybe a Lothar's if you're feeling lucky, and go from there. They only have 14 seconds left in reserve time right now, so they're a bit more confused as to what to go for here. They're not as kind of confident as we saw in that first game. They're taking a bit of time. Not that that's a bad thing, but they're going to go for the Vengeful Spirit as their next support, just to make sure VirtusPro can't grab it to swap out, of course, any Batrider, Lasso, what have you. And, of course, Magic Missile is really strong as well. The Aura Strat on top of that, luckily they're not on the dire side, so VirtusPro don't really have to worry about a level 1 Roshan or anything like that, even though it would be difficult at the very best with the Shadow Fiend and the Batrider. VirtusPro, though, they've got their last pickup, and it's going to have to be a support. They have their 3 cores, and it just comes down to where they want to lane this Night Stalker, where they want to lane this Naga Siren. I think Nature's Prophet's going to be in that off lane. They can go for an aggressive tri-lane, but is that really going to be necessary, and is it going to be that good of an aggressive tri-lane up against the Vengeful Spirit and the amount of damage that Visage can pump out? In all actuality, it's probably a defensive try, and it comes down to a hero that maybe is a bit better at roaming and ganking, or at least can contribute to the push in some way, shape, or form. That Shadow Shaman is not available. Team Empire did a nice job banding that out, making sure that hero is not really ready to be picked up for VirtusPro to try to push down towers. Shackles would be nice to have as well with the Hexes. Just another good ability for that hero. So with VirtusPro now, they have 44 seconds left in reserve time. They're working their way towards another pickup here, and we'll see what it is. When I have a second, I'm just going to... I'll talk about it a bit later. No point in delving into it now, especially when the pick is so very close. 30 seconds away, in fact, for VirtusPro. But we did have a bit of an issue early on, I think, with the... I guess you could call the LAN and the setup and what was going on there. Just so much to deal with. we were a bit late, maybe about 40 minutes in. Not an hour, I don't believe, but it was getting to the point where, you know, people were obviously a little bit perturbed. Nothing we can really do about that. It's kind of out of our hands, and it's a LAN, like I talked about in that first game, and it's just LAN organizers have a lot to deal with. I mean, a lot. Even if you rehearse and everything almost goes to plan, it's still going to be, I think, 1 or 2 flaws coming through as the day wears on. It's actually really early there, too. It's about almost 10 o'clock, I think, a.m. their time, so interesting stuff. A lot of Dota early on for Dota players. Most of us are known for being, I guess, night owls, but I guess not in this case. So, for Team Empire, up 1 game right now, looking for a second game to move on to the, I think, winners bracket semifinals. I'm not 100% sure. Mag's going to pick up the Bat Rider here in this top lane. He'll ward up right now. Nice ward here. Make sure to not block this camp. That's the real important thing. Meanwhile, they're encroaching on AA. Arsart down to that bottom lane. They can't find him, though. So, mid lane, Resolution is going to be on the Shadow Fiend there. And to round it all out, the defensive tri-lane coming out for Empire. They're going to have Silent once again on the Luna. No surprise there. Always want to fly on the Visage again. And this time around, it's going to be Vangscore on the Vengeful Spirit. So, that'll round out the lineup for them. For VirtusPro, Arsart, he's going to be on the Nature's Prophet. He's going to sit in this bottom lane and try to do his best to get some last hits here. Stay alive. He did go for boots early on. No surprise there. Jotum, he's going to roam around, maybe put up some sentry wards if necessary. He'll be on the Bane. Mid lane G on the Night Stalker, so that answers that question of who's going to be going safe, who's going to be going into that mid lane. NS on the Disruptor, one of his favorite and best heroes, I think. Thrall, such a strong, dominant support for NS to play. He'll find out that regen rune, and obviously not going to go his way. He'll probably just deny it here in a couple of seconds. So, but the top lane, Illidan, he'll be on the Nagasar, and with that Quelling Blade early on, he's not going to have a rough time, really. I mean, because the only one up here is Mag, and he can't do much in terms of harass, especially when you have Jotum helping him out. Jotum's sitting mid, going to enfeeble once, probably head back up to that top lane as soon as possible. Resolution's going to have no damage. He's going to have no damage. Oh, goodness gracious. He's sitting on 11 damage right now. Resolution is just so very sad. He doesn't do, like, any damage right now. So, now heading back up is going to be Jotum. Void already going through. Resolution getting caught out of position here. Just, this is what you'll see, I think, pretty much for the early stages of this lane. G is just going to harass and just go to town on Resolution. Another enfeeble. He cannot catch a break in this top lane. Illidan taking some sticky napalm strikes there, but Mag's not doing that much in terms of harassing. He's trying to get the last hits right now. Resolution, once this enfeeble wears off, maybe he can get some last hits, but as it stands now, he is one sad man here, just trying to get whatever he can. At least on the other side of things, Silent's getting some free farm here in this bottom lane as well. They're zoning out Arsart. He's in a tough lane. I mean, he is that Nature's Prophet. He's going to get Magic Missile right now. He's got to back off, but he does a decent amount of damage to Vangscore, so he'll harass him a bit, push him away from the lane, and go from there. No, don't do it again, Jotum, please. No more Enfeebleando on my Resolution. And he goes again. Luckily, Resolution gets up to 4 last hits. A lot of those probably coming from raises. He will have to be careful. He actually only used 1 raise, it seems, so he's still somehow getting Necromastery stacks and last hits when he's getting enfeebled consistently, time after time after time. And, you know, sign of a strong mid player. You can overcome the odds. Vangscore, the Sentry Ward, just a little bit out of range here of this Observer Ward here. Not quite there. They don't know what's blocking it just yet. Always want to fly. He's got no sentries, but he's going to stack up this nice little creep camp here. Eventually, Silent can pick that up once he gets to those glaives. At a couple of levels, but that'll be some time. He goes for the Quelling Blade, interestingly enough. He wants to be able to last hit very effectively, and man, it's really easy to do that, and I like that. Now, glimpse back on Resolution, taking a lot of damage. First Blood, gonna go for G. They are making sure they lock down this hero mid. My goodness, are they doing that. Mag in that top lane now. Just getting some CS here. Firefly is gonna go Mirror Image just to make sure Illidan stays alive and get some CS. He's right now sitting 11, so he's not at the best, as you can see, but he's still doing well. Always want to fly. Is he going to stack again? He's looking to try to... This Observer Ward is not yet countered, and this one is out of range as well. They've wasted 2 sentries, neither of which are going to be able to counter ward that Observer, and fairly unfortunate. However, Silent, he's not doing too bad anyways. They would like to pull the wave back, make sure Arsart can't get any sort of experience. He's not doing all that great anyways. Mag backing off now. He's level 4. He's gotten a couple of levels. Mag's going to head to the jungle, and this is what the stacking's for. Him to head to the jungle, take this stack up, get very close to that Blink Dagger, and they're investing a lot into this. Resolution will head to the jungle as well, trying to get some mastery stacks with those raises, and the Trinkles are now done for Mag. 200 gold in the bank, but this will get him maybe close to 1,000 just with these 2 stacks alone. And of course another sec as well from Always Wanna Fly would be real nice to have on top of that. Jotum is, for all intents and purposes, dual laning mid against Resolution here, which I guess is fine. They're putting a lot of eggs into this basket. The problem is Shadow Fiend's one of those heroes that can really get back into it. We've seen him go to the jungle already once. He can continue to do that throughout the entirety of a game and get back into it with a lot of Necromastery stacks, and really the only item he needs are treads and a BKB. So shutting him down early, yes, is good, but he can snowball anyways later on without really the help of that mid-lane farm. Silent now in this bottom lane. He's got something flying out to him right now. It is going to be a Hand of Midas recipe. So we saw him go for that early helm last game, but now he's got a chance to have a 4-minute Midas, and he might as well grab it. Oh, Jotum throwing up a ward there. They know this is Sentry'd right now. Resolution's like, yep, there's a ward here. Can't really do much about it. And that's getting caught out. Maybe Mag is the one getting caught out. He's getting Thunderstriked right now. Thunderstruck even. Firefly flying through. And he'll head up to the top lane. He's actually not going to take these camps in. Maybe they give these camps to Resolution instead just to make sure he gets the farm and Mag kind of just gets his Blink Dagger whenever he can get it and go from there. But I don't know if that's the best idea. And still, we'll have to wait and see. All the while, though, Always Wanna Fly has gotten little to no experience throughout this game. And NS at least has gotten something. He's level 3 right now. Jala's been leeching level experience from mid lane, and she's just been kind of helping him out there. Whereas Always Wanna Fly is not getting much. He'll keep stacking as it stands right now. Resolution farming these mud golems real quick. They're not gonna, of course, respawn here because they'll not be killed unless he pulls them back a bit more. But he knows there's a ward there, so it shouldn't matter anyways. Up at the top lane, Mag still trying to CS now. 13 last hits for him. He's doing well as that offlaner. Only 1 for Arsart. I'm surprised he hasn't rotated to the jungle just yet, but I mean, he's getting experience, so why not stay in this lane and just kind of leech whatever you can get? He's not stopping Silent from farm. That's not his job. His job is to get experience and to stay alive, essentially. If you can harass the farmer, then yes, that's an added bonus. But as it stands now, Arsart can't really do that. He'll last hit under tower and just kind of get what he can get. Top lane, G's roaming through, looking for first blood, or I guess second blood on the bag right now. Getting silenced up, Firefly up in the air, glimpse back down. Mag gets some trouble, big dive coming through. TP rotation, Mag flying to the other side of the jungle. He'll make it over the crevice. Magic Missile now up. You can see NS getting caught out of position. Mag can't go for that kill. Nature's Wrath, I think, just went through. Another TP coming up top from Arsart. Can't get the kill, but G will. Diving past this tower still, now looking for the Vengeful Spirit. Vengsker in a lake of trouble right now. He'll back his way out of there. He has this Wave of Terror, but that's all he has. No Magic Missile. The Void's gonna fly. The heavy dive's coming through. The silence is up. Vengsker can't get anything done. Double kill for G. And now Always Wanna Fly was gonna be a third, but decides to get away smartly. Resolution will pick up the haste rune, but that's just a small little thing when you compare to what happened in this top lane just a second ago. Illidan now sitting on 39 last hits. He gets an assist as well. Arsart jumping in, providing another assist, and then the double kill from G, who's roaming through. Look at this aggression coming out from VirtusPro's G, just trying to find out whatever he can. Looking for the Night Stalker potentially. Mag's not too far behind him. He sees him roaming through the jungle. G's going to make his way across the river real quick. They have that observer ward. They see him. They spot him out. They ping him real quick, and now they back away. Mag now going to work on this giant stack of creeps here, and he's going to be loving this in just a matter of seconds or so. And oh yeah. We'll see if this gets him real close to this Blink Dagger. It should get him about 1,000 gold, or at least close to 1,000. Maybe not so much. Maybe 750? Yeah, well, something like that. So now he's only 1,000 gold away from that Blink Dagger, and with that Blink Dagger, which should be maybe at 9 minutes if he gets another couple of stacks like that, he can certainly start controlling the pace of this game with his Blink Lasso initiations. That's something that they need. They need a couple of easy kills with Lasso to really, I think, start getting into this one. They were never really in it to begin with, so getting back would be, I think, the wrong term. They still have somehow a 1,000 gold lead, a lot of that coming on the back of Silent and his Hand of Midas. And of course, just, I think, the Bat Rider as well, getting his Tranquils and 1,400 gold in the bank. He's still working on getting to this Blink Dagger as quickly as possible, but now NS and Jotum, they're going to go ahead and counter ward up in this top, ancient camp. I Always Wanna Fly, looking to try to fight on NS, but he is only level 2. Thunderstruck's going to go, and Always Wanna Fly already taking a bit of harass there. He does have some tangos, so he'll be just fine. For VirtusPro, Arsart has roamed into the jungle right now. He's got his phase boots, and love to see this early on because phase is really, I think, most the most important thing for Nature's Prophet early. If you go for that Midas and you rush it, you don't have that same kind of impact. It's the same thing that Admiral Bulldog always preaches in terms of his Nature's Prophet play. So it's no surprise that Arsart does pick up the phase boots here. Silent at 62 last hits with his Midas. 43 denies. That's a disgusting amount of denies. There's nobody even in the lane right now. He doesn't even have to. He does it anyways just to keep the lane in order. With his treads up, with the Midas as well, he's got that extra attack speed. He does the damage with the Quelling Blade to the creeps. And Silent is just a machine of farming. And he's even doing better than, obviously, the Naga Siren right now. Illidan will get up to snuff once he starts getting to that radiance. He's got 3,000 gold in the bank already. The Relic's going to get there in maybe just a couple of minutes from right now. So Illidan, he's not doing too poorly himself. Not too shabby, you'd say. Silent now, getting caught out. Fiend's Grip's going to come through the TP as well. Coming from G, he's got Void, he's got Silent. Silent's going to fall. Not even using that crippling fear, not even necessary. So a big pickup to stop Silent from farming, which we just talked about. He was doing so well up into that point. Glimpse back now and always want to fly. Getting caught out. Kinetic Field's there as well. Grave Chill TP is up. Might survive this with the Grave Chill. Vangscore using that magic missile maybe. Decides against it. Soul Assumption just to kill a creep. And now always willing to fly. We'll back off here. Maybe head back home and regen up a bit while Vangscore continues to CS. All the meanwhile, G and Jottam trying to put the pressure on the tower here. Silent's going to TP through. He has Eclipse, but he's got to be careful. Jottam getting level 6 just at the right time. They've been roaming together as a tandem for a while. They've sat mid together. They went top together. Now they're going to roam bottom, grab a kill together, and maybe even look for a tower, at least some tower damage. There's no way they can take this on their own, so they have to back off now and thoroughly. All the meanwhile, what's Resolution been up to? He's been getting back into it. 64 last hits right now. He's got his Ogre Club as well. He's rotated the jungle multiple times. He's made multiple trips, and suddenly, like I said, he's back in it. Not that he was ever really out of it to begin with. So he's got the deity rune now. They can see him clearly with it. There is this Observer Ward here coming out. So Resolution will back his way out of there. All the meanwhile, Silent continuing to farm with 72 last hits on the other side of things. Illidan, 3,600 gold in the bank. That is going to be probably an 11.5 minute, and actually just an 11-minute relic coming out for Illidan. The Radiant's done at about 14, maybe a bit earlier if he's lucky, which is a disturbing timing for that item. Mac has that Blink Dagger. He's got the Lasso. He's got the Initiation, but there's no one bottom. There is a Vanguard now up for G as well, so he's a bit tankier and a bit tougher to bring down. Even with that Lasso, it might not be enough to bring down this hero. So suddenly it looks like VirtusPro, they're controlling the pace of the game. Yes, Silent's farming well, but is it going to be enough to outlast this Naga Siren? The Relic is delivered at 1047. There is a 1,000 gold lead for Empire right now and a 500 experience lead going for them as well, but that's very marginal at best. Arsart and Jottam sitting up in this top lane.
Radiant's top
Silent.
tower is under
Resolution
attack.
with the deity rune. Fortification
Dire's
is going to get
bottom
forced.
tower
They'll
is
back
under
off now,
attack.
wait for the next creep wave, go again. All the meanwhile,
Radiant's top
they do
tower
trade,
has
or it
fallen.
looks like they will trade 1-for-1. As Illidan takes
Radiant's
that
middle
last hit in the
tower is
tower in
under
that top
attack.
lane.
Dire's bottom tower
NS
has
glimpse
fallen.
back. That'll be on Always Wanna Fly. TP coming through, but he's got no help. G's coming through, but it's on the backside. TP came through maybe from the Nature's Prophet. Resolution still chasing, but he can't find anything. Now Darkness is going to fly. Mag, Blink, Lasso. Can they get this kill? Razors are going to fly through. Song of the Siren just in time to get G out of a bad
Radiant's
position.
top
He'll
tower
back
is
away.
under
Darkness
attack.
was popped. So was Song of the Siren, but still, they waste a couple of ultimates there. It doesn't matter as long as they survive. Well, of course, getting a kill or two, which they didn't actually. Always Wanna Fly was able to survive. He really was not in danger of dying there. He got glimpsed back, but there's no follow-up damage coming through from the Disruptor. Luna now going for the Helm of the Dominator. This is maybe one of the greediest builds I've ever seen. But if you're against a Naga Siren, what do you expect to do? You're just going to farm away anyways, because you know you have this period of time where Naga's going to be getting up online. Even with the ratings, they still have a lot of time to work with. So Silent will get that Helm of the Dominator. He'll get his Midas going, maybe even into Yasha to continue to farm away into a BKB, and from there, I guess the world is his oyster, as they say for Luna. Arsart getting very close to a Midas of his own. It'll be a bit late, but as a Nature's Prophet, it's okay to get that recovery Midas at about 13 or 14 minutes in. I'd like to have it earlier, but can't always have everything that you want. So Arsart's still in this lane. 1,400 gold in the bank for him. G not too far behind with the Smoke of Deceit. Hastrun as well. He's flying around the map as that Night Stalker. It's maybe one of the scariest things you'll ever see in your life. It's the stuff of nightmares. Silent, Mag, Resolution, Vangscore. They're going to go ahead and smoke up and look for a couple of kills of their own.
Radiant's bottom
They want to
tower
fight.
is under
They know
attack.
they have maybe a bit of an advantage while Naga's not really going to be a part of anything.
Radiant's bottom
They
tower
do get that
has
tier 1
fallen.
tower bottom while that's all happening. Arsar and G, they might want to TP away now. This is maybe not a position they want to fight in. There's 4 heroes coming down bottom right now from both sides. Ennis is making his way down there.
Radiant's
The
middle
initiation,
tower
who's it
is
going to come
under
through?
attack.
Mag, Blink, Lasso on G, in some trouble right now. Eclipse is going to fly through as well. Gianna taking a lot of that damage. G about to fall, will not make it. Looks like he will just in time. Magic Missile coming through. Gianna falling first. G is going to be second. The illusion's coming through as well, but there's no Song of the Siren. All the meanwhile on the backside, NS getting chased down. Big raise from Resolution. That's a double kill. And a TP coming out from Arsar just to make sure he survives. Always want to fly, will die to the Naga Siren Illusions, which did so much work. The Nature's Wrath as well, and somehow VirtusPro get away with the 3-for-2 trade. Naga Siren and Nature's Prophet combining up to grab a couple of kills there. Unfortunately, that rating sprint was just too much damage to deal with an Empire. They've got to just be feeling not the best. They were feeling good in that engagement, but all of a sudden, 2 quick kills going the way of VirtusPro to get them right back in it. Still, though, the gold lead barely in favor of Empire right now, and I'm going to check this consistently considering who's in the game. 2,000 experience lead for them as well. The BKB done already for the Shadow Fiend at 14 minutes in. So Resolution, like I talked about, he had that tough time, but that doesn't seem to be bothering him. And why would it? You've got the Radiant side. We've seen so many Radiant Shadow Fiend players do this before. Just go to the camps, raise it up, get back into the game, and feel comfortable about what your farm's like. 1,300 gold on the Luna right now. The Helm of the Dominator's up. Yasha might be coming
Dire's
soon as
middle
well.
tower is under attack.
Ennis is going to throw up this ward here just to get a bit more vision. All the meanwhile, Vengsker, always want to fly. He's going to go for that mech again, and that's not a huge surprise. It worked really well in that last game, so might as well go for it again. Silent, he's got that Midas. It's about to be off cooldown. Smoke is up though. Mag, he's going to be controlling. He's looking for something. But everyone's sitting right around mid for VirtusPro. They're not going to jump too far out. And G with that Vanguard now going for an Ogre Club. Could be the start of a BKB or his Aghanim Scepter. And considering it's an Ogre Club first, I'd say it's more likely his BKB. So Illidan sitting on 1,500 gold. He's been farming pretty well. Nothing on him just yet, except for that Ring of a Kill, which he just purchases up a TP Scroll as well. He's got his boots ready to go. Now he's going to try to push mid here. Maybe take this tier 1 tower down. Always want to fly, and Vengsker, they're the only ones here right now. 4-man aggression coming out from VirtusPro, while the 5th, Arsar, is going to be trying to push down that bottom lane. They take down that... Oh, God. Vengsker is dead. Huge glimpse coming out. That'll be from Ennis there. Just it's maxed out, so that range is absolutely ridiculous. You can see the rangefinder there coming through, and they've got to be careful. This should be a free tier 1 tower right now. They have the Naga Siren ulti, so even if they get caught in a position, they can hit the reset button. Blink Lasso. Ennis getting caught out. Soul Assumption. Song of the Siren is going to go, and that's what happens. Now there's a Static Storm onto 3 Kinetic Field. BKB, Resolution's Fiend's Grip. Big Fiends coming out from VirtusPro here. They're going to catch 3, maybe even 4 here, as of course that's another triple going for G. The last one alive is Silent on the backside, and Mexico just respawning not too long ago. The tier 1 tower is going to fall. VirtusPro looking real strong in this game. Illidan with the Song of the Siren, and we talked about it. This is going to be the big issue. Even if you get that Blink Lasso, it doesn't matter. You could just reset the fight. It's on cooldown now for another 150 seconds, but still, well worth it to have a fight like that where you have a Kinetic Field, Static Storm onto 3, catching everybody, doing some bad work there. Silent now. He's going to get Crippling Fear avoided as well, but G now decides not to pursue it. He'll back off, getting dangerously close to that BKB. He'll just get 1 CS on the way out and have his team help him out here as well, if necessary. And it's very low. He's still here for whatever reason. He's got 1,000 gold in the bank and only 184 HP, so he'll back his way out. It is daytime right now, so a lot of work done there from VP on, I believe it was the 3rd night? I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but still, decent time for them. They had a 3,000 gold swing, maybe even a 4,000 gold swing go their way in that nighttime period. They also have the experience now back down to even. They've got some items coming out. Illidan's getting closer and closer to getting just a bit more, and it's being actually pretty important in this game. He's still pretty far away from it, other than his Song of the Siren, his right click and his burn damage. Not quite enough just yet, but still doing work nonetheless. Silent down bottom, trying desperately to get to that BKB, and he's almost there. He just needs that recipe to be completed. We'll go from there. So VirtusPro, knowing they've done well in nighttime, they're back off. They'll farm up a bit and maybe go to work the next night time. They'll have to defend where they need to defend, but unless they pop darkness, don't expect to see VirtusPro engage too much here, as they're just going to keep farming and trying to split push here with Arsart, who's going for that Necro book. He already has Necro 1. Blink, Lasso, Arsart getting caught out of position. No 4-step yet. The Visage Familiar stun's not coming through. Not even necessary. Soul Assumption from Always Wanna Fly. And they get the tier 1 tower. So, Empire, a big pickup for them. Arsart getting caught out. He did have his Necro already anyway, so doesn't really lose that much if you look at his gold right now, sitting at 50s. So, yeah, lost almost nothing there. Other than his life, which is certainly not a good thing. Luna now with almost a BKB at this point. We keep talking about it, but that's the big item. Did not go for that Yasha. Instead went for the Quelling Blade, which is pretty greedy in its own right, but not as greedy as Yasha is. BKB now done for the Night Stalker. As soon as the Luna picks up hers, bots as well for the Naga Siren, the second item that you see so very often. Yasha might be next into that Heart of Trask, maybe even a Mantis style before he finishes up the Heart altogether, but he's got a wide variety of options here. And that's the kind of cool thing about the Naga Siren. You can build her any which way, but you'll see most Nagas do something pretty similar. At least in terms of safe lane farming. Visage Familiars and Resolution trying to push up into this top tier 1 tower. It's still at full health, but Resolution can just absolutely barrel right through this thing, and he looks like he's doing that as of right now. 1,700 gold in the bank. He's got his BKB. Some attack speed would be nice, like a butterfly, but that'd be a long way away, obviously. You can go for a Blink Dagger to be a bit more aggressive with his Requiem, but he's not at level 16 anyway, so level 3 Requiem's not quite there. All the meanwhile, Jadam and the rest of VirtusPro are going to try to go for this tier 2 tower bottom. They have Darkness ready to go for G. They have that BKB. They've got some newly minted items, and they're ready to fight. They have that Necro 1 as well. Not using it just yet, but they're going to try to trade tier 2 for tier 2 here. Would be a pretty big victory for Empire, I feel like, just to get something done at least. They're already TPing back, though. NS, Illidan's here as well. He's got the Song of the Siren ready to fight. The escalation might be coming here in just a second. Tier 2 tower taking a bit of damage there. NS ready to try to glimpse, ready to try to kinetic field. There's going to be the Thunderstrike going through as well. Resolution might get glimpsed back. He knows that this is maybe a problem. He's running, trying to hit through this. The fortification going right now. Void's up. G trying to fight. Nice deny coming up from the Night Stalker and the Song of the Siren. Knowing that this is going to be a big fight right now. Static Storm onto a couple again. Thanks score and Always Want to Fly. The mech is up. Silence going to go through as well. Eclipse not being used yet. There it goes. Jadam taking a fall. A 2-for-1 trade thus far. Blink, Lasso, G getting caught out. That BKB, a big problem. 3 down. The only ones alive, Illidan and G. They're doing work, however. Silent trying to fight up. There's the Silence going through. The Void might fly. Illidan taking the glaive damage. Silent about to fall and will. Mag cannot solo G. He's got to back off. All the meanwhile, Illidan picking up a couple kills himself. Looking for Mag right now in the jungle. He's got his blink. He's going to blink and TP away. A 4-for-3 trade. The tower gets denied as well. A very close fight coming out. And you could argue that G, because of that Vanguard, he survives. Because of that BKB, he definitely survives. So, some big item pickups coming out from VirtusPro's G right now. 21 minutes in, the fight goes their way. The gold graph, it's back and forth we go here in game number 2. Empire not willing to give up anything here just yet. Experience-wise, there still is that 2,000 experience lead for Empire. They have that to hang their hat on, but that's about it. The Yasha, Luna, about to pick that up. She was very close. In fact, she could buy the recipe, I think, right now if she wants to. And she has the BKB already, so that greedy build, not quite there this time around, but still. Now that she has that Yasha, she does a lot of damage anyways, man. And you saw in that last fight, that did work. Her right-click, her glaives almost killed both Illidan as well as G. She just couldn't get it done there. I'm not sure if she did use the BKB in that last fight. I was aware of that. I'm just not sure why I remembered it. Necro 2 now done for the Nature's Prophet. He's sitting pretty, I'd say, at this point. Once he gets his Necro 3, he's sitting real pretty. All the meanwhile, Illidan has to back off. He doesn't have the most CS in the world. In fact, he's actually losing to the Luna at this point in terms of CS and farm. He's going to go for that Ultimate Orb next. So Naga Siren going to probably pick up the Mantis style. No shocker there. You do have to be aware that there is that potential to go for the Lincoln Sphere because of Lasso, but I don't think that's going to be the case in this game. So 22 minutes in. Silent is almost the highest net worth, only down to the Naga by a couple hundred. He's going to stack up, or at least just try to take his Ancient stack here real quick. He's got the damage to do so. He's got the regen with the Helm of the Dominator. Always Want to Fly, going to leech some levels here as well. The Satyr Tormentor being a bit annoying. He doesn't want him to die. Keep him alive, and all of a sudden Silent getting very close to the Mantis style. 1,000 gold away from the Ultimate Orb, and then 900 from the recipe on top of that. In the meantime, down bottom, VirtusPro's G, Arsart, and Illidan Storm Rage doing what they can to push in this lane. There is no tier 2 tower. They took it last time around, the last go-around, if you will. 2 tier 2s for both teams left, and so towers are even right now. And arguably a better pushing lineup for VirtusPro. They're even in towers here. And that's what I'm talking about when I say Empire. They're not giving up anything right now. Now the point booster for Visage, he'll build towards his Aghanim Scepter, and once he gets that, that'll be a huge item to have. They're going to try to go for Rosh here, though. And it looks like they know this is happening. Empire are ready to fight. There is Song of the Siren ready to go, though. So if they can find Illidan, they can pick up the kill, lasso him up, get him out of the team fight, and go to town on him. Make sure there's no Song to reset the engagement. But as it stands right now, Empire, they're going to jump in here in a second. The smoke is up. Here we go. Wave of Tear's going to fly through. Now backing off. BKB lashes up on Illidan. There's the Eclipse taking a lot of damage as VirtusPro. They're getting obliterated. Huge fight with the Eclipse. The right clicks as well. Resolution gets the double kill with the DD. They are going to take a free Roche. What an engagement for Empire, blowing up VirtusPro, even just crippling them, just beating them on the kneecaps. Goodness gracious.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's about as good as a fight as you're ever going to get for Team Empire right there. You saw that initiation. That's what I was talking about, that blink, that lasso. Pull him out, eclipse everyone else. Resolution jumps in. He used his Requiem as well. He got the clips coming out from the Silent there, just doing so much work. The butterfly up right now. Level 15 for this Shadow Fiend.
Under attack.
My goodness.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So now Empire, that had to help them a lot in the gold graph here. Oh yeah, 4,000 immediately after that team fight, plus the tier 2 tower. They'll head to that bottom lane. With the Aegis up on Shadow Fiend right now, they can play a bit aggressively here. Almost a 7,500 experience lead as well for their team. The net worth chart pretty much tells the story here. In terms of levels, they've got that advantage. The only problem, their support's a bit under level, but not by much. Jadam's sitting at level 11, and somehow he's gotten to that point where he's got level 2 Fiend Script now, but they're not too far behind him. They're not going to go for this tier 2 just yet. They want a bit more farm here. Silent maybe working towards his Mantis style first, and then they'll go for something Resolution, trying to get maybe his Helmet of Dominator, and then they'll fight. But he's already got his Butterfly, so there's no need to sit back and farm greedily. Maybe they wait until that Aegis is about to run out, try to get to the tier 2 tower, then wait for the next Roshan, go into the tier 3 from that if they can get a good team fight, or at least just pick up the Aegis without even having to team fight. Go to a tier 3 from there. That might be the long-term game plan coming out from Empire. Obviously, I'm not with them in the Skype call. I'm not with them on LAN, so I can't tell you 100% what they're doing. All I can tell you right now is that they're telling Silent to please not die. He's going to BKB. Glimpse already went, so nice play there. He's got to waste the charge, however, so he will get away scot-free. Arsart might not be so lucky. Lasso's going to go through. He's going to force him back. The Necro Warrior is doing a lot of work there, but not going to matter. Batrider picking up the kill with Resolution combining up to help him out. So, no, always want to fly. Oh, Fiend's Grip, no, he got caught out. Blink forward, no, blink away. Mag's like, nah, I don't really want to be a part of that. 4-step down to the low ground from Mag. Resolution's going to stay secure, but I was talking about how it looked so good for VirtusPro. They had a couple of really good engagements, 4-man wipes coming out, but that Roshan could not have gone any worse. And the problem was they just didn't counter ward. This was the ward right here that gave them that vision over to the Roche pit that, you know, knew what was going on. Song of the Siren long range. Glimpse is going to come back as well. Static Storm is up. Thanks for getting caught in a position right now. About to fall down. Resolution. He's getting caught out. He has that haste rune luckily, but now he's going to try to fight on G. Maybe not the best idea. He'll back away as well. 2 down suddenly for Empire. But as I was saying, I mean, they had not necessarily a lead, but it was close. And that kind of mistake coming out, going for Roche that early on, and not really, I guess, counter-warding, where they could have just had all of this vision, ended up costing VirtusPro. Plus, they didn't get a pick-off before they went into the Roche pit, I don't believe anyway, so that cost them, in fact, there's a number we can put towards it, about 7,500 in gold, I'd say. Yeah, about 7,500 in gold. Maybe about more like 5,000 or 6,000, but you know how it is. So Resolution now, 36 Necromastery stacks. The BKB is up. Butterfly is up. The Helm of the Dominator is up. Satanic might be his next item. Might go for a damaging item as well if he wanted to. And now it just comes down to making sure this Luna, or excuse me, the Naga Siren doesn't get back into it, and he's not even doing that well. You look at the net worth chart, Silent is doing work in comparison to Illidan right now, but that's not really a surprise, considering what happened not too long ago. But the problem is he's not really CSing all that well. You see Naga Sirens just try to find farm wherever they can. Maybe it's a byproduct of playing up against Mag, and the fact that he's that Bat Rider, he doesn't want to get caught in a position, and that's fair. But it's almost like, at this point, he's not getting the CS he should be. There's 5 men here for VirtusPro down in the bottom lane. In the jungle, 5 for Empire as well. They'll push this out real quick, and they're just trying to get the lanes across the river for VirtusPro so that they can actually farm their jungle. They can grab, you know, ward control, map control, vision, coverage, whatever you want to call it. They just want something. And Illidan, he'll TP top with spots. He'll try to force down this top lane, maybe even go for a tier 2 tower, at least a bit of damage onto it. All the meanwhile, Empire, they're going to head bottom as well, and they say, listen, we've got the Sages. There's no reason for us to be shy here. Let's just try to take this tower. And in fact, speaking of a damaging item, it is going to be that Chrysalis coming out and Daedalus for resolution, not too far away. Fortification's going to go. They're going to sit mid and top lane, trying to split push in. VirtusPro, if they can gain 2 towers somehow, they'll be in a real strong position. But TPs are coming through right now. They'll have to get pushed back. The illusions are going to get pushed off the tower real quick. Glimpse coming back out. Silent's not there to fight anymore. And all of a sudden, this maybe looks like a good engagement for VirtusPro if they want to fight. Silent has to run back. In fact, they're going to take this tier 2 tower with almost no problem because of that glimpse from NS. The tier 2 tower mid, they might not be so lucky. Nice swap coming out. Resolution still alive. He has that Aegis Jot him, taking a fall. The right click too much. Static Storm, Kinetic Field not on point there. NS getting caught in a position. There's the Ensnare. Mag chasing after NS. All the meanwhile, Illidan, Song of the Siren going through. Now Resolution, he's very low. Soul Assumption came through, I think, to get the kill on Arsart. Now getting caught out. Nice stuns from the familiars. Blank, lasso, Illidan in trouble. Falls down. The Gem of True Set on the deck as well. Shadowfeed picks up the kill. Nicely done there. I think that was a gem anyway. Maybe I'm crazy, but it was. Excellent. Good. So, huge fight again going for Team Empire. They're going to push straight down. They're going to look for this tier 3 mid. Resolution, that Aegis did go. Might have went during the fight. I'm not sure if it actually got used or not. But Silent's ready to fight here. He's got his BKB. He didn't use it in that last engagement. They're ready to push up into the tier 3 into the high ground. And all of a sudden, VirtusPro, they've got to buy back Illidan. No Song of the Siren. He really can't do much now. G getting caught with all of these glaives. He does have the halberd, so he's got that evasion chance. Silent working on the range racks right now. He is going to get enfeebled here. BKB still going through. Mance is going to go first. Soul Assumption on the backside. Mance is everywhere. Illusions all over the damn place. Raxes are going to fall anyways. Illidan can't do much. There's no Song of the Siren. Blink, lasso, force back. NS getting caught out, getting blown up. Swap aggressively. Illidan dead now. No buyback. No, he gets nightmared up, but just going to save him for a moment there. Soul Assumption grabbing that kill. No, the double going out for Silent. G getting chased down. They've already lost a set of racks here. Arsart getting chased down. Mag already used that lasso. If he falls, maybe this is going to be GG. Flame break, nicely done, pushing him back. The Lucent Beam's up as well. The right click is there. BKB going through from Mag, and they are just asserting their dominance. They're going to go for another tier 3 tower. Another set of racks and potentially GG at this point as Empire doing work. Resolution getting caught out with that
top tower has fallen.
Heaven's Halberd. I couldn't think of the name for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but it's strange. A brain fart. BKB going through right now. G getting caught out of position. A lot of damage just from the right click alone. Silent's got to be careful. Static Storm flying through, but the Max saving his life. He brings down Ennis with a couple of right clicks. Silent's still alive, just barely. Still no Illidan for 10 seconds. They take down 2 sets of racks. They'll back off now. They'll play the farming game for a bit. They'll wait for the next Roshan, which is up, and we're going to find out in a couple of seconds. And suddenly Empire, they're well on their way to getting to that winner's bracket. I think it is semifinal. Cannot confirm. Will in a second, though. The winner's bracket final, actually. This is the winner's semifinal. So that'll be the update. The loser's bracket final will be after this game. It'll be, well, not after this game necessarily. That's not true. There's still a chance for VirtusPro because they do have this split push Dota. They have a Naga Siren. There's nothing that can carry later than a Naga, I think, at least in this game. And Illidan's doing a nice job of at least getting some farm, but it's going to be tough. He's in a position right now where his net worth is not amounting to that much, and where Silence certainly is. I mean, he's almost 6 slotted now. He just needs to get rid of those treads, get a satanic, and then pick up another item, and you're good to go. Resolution with that Daedalus now. Roche going to respawn in 47 seconds. That's what we were waiting for, actually. And us maybe looking for a glimpse, maybe try to fight here. Thunderstrike's going to go. Glimpse back. He's got BKB. He doesn't want to use it just yet. Resolution getting caught out. BKB is going to fly. Nice swap, but Requiem was getting casted there. G trying to fight up. John getting blown up because the Requiem Eclipse doing work. The Glaives, triple kill for Silent. G getting caught out of position. He's going to get brought down with these familiar stuns going on to him right now. The Magic Missile as well. 4 dead. GG and VirtusPro. They are going to head to the lowers bracket, I believe lowers bracket semifinals. But nonetheless, Empire just crushing VirtusPro in 2 pretty quick game series. So Empire will move on to the winners bracket finals. They'll face up the victor of next.kz and rox.kis, and the loser of that game will go on to face VirtusPro. And we'll have that game in just a second, guys. We're going to take a quick break, obviously. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the cast, please let me know. I'd appreciate any kind words. Had a bit of a rough night so far, but let me know what you guys thought. Follow me at twitter.com/mock32. We're going to take a quick break. Make sure you guys check out the other action happening on BTS 2, which I believe we have some Chinese Dota going on. It might be, I don't know exactly what the games are. I'll look those up for you guys in just a second. You guys can check that out on Join Dota, obviously, or the Reddit match ticker. Looks like it is going to be, right now, VG versus HGT, and then a little bit later, DK versus Titan. So, good series all around for the WPC Ace League. As it stands, though, we are going to take a quick break, guys. I will be back in just a bit. Stick around, everybody.